Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is Monday Night Raw. We are back. The week off has commenced and it is past. We are here. We are back at it. Back on our full-time schedule. No breaks. The off-season has ended. It's time to continue where we left off. It's time for the draft week. Now I know so much happened at WrestleMania that we want to talk about. So much happened that we want to discuss this evening. But the simple fact of the matter is, for the majority, we don't, because it's draft week. It's one of the big weeks here. It is a huge week following WrestleMania, and there are huge matches on our way. Women's Champion versus Women's Champion Nikki Cross going to look to take on Ronda Rousey to kick off this evening. And our main event's going to be a big one as well. This is supposed to be the secondary champions of every brand facing off, but as you can see, Jay White is in this one. And he's not a secondary champion. It will be Finn Bálor, Jay White, and Velveteen Dream later on this evening for the simple reason of Corin may well be the television champion, but he is not a member of ECW. So while Corin has the title, he does not represent ECW. He is not signed to ECW. Jay White will take his place this evening. I said the blame of what happened at WrestleMania with Jay White was on his hands. And he's living it now. He's going to have to live through it. And if he makes it through this draft, yes, Jay, you are in trouble. Nevertheless, time to kick things off here with SmackDown versus Raw in the women's division. Nikki Cross and Ronda Rousey. What are we going to start things off this evening? 2 new women's champions were crowned at WrestleMania. 3 across WrestleMania weekend. Every women's title changed hands at WrestleMania weekend. And what a weekend it was as well. My goodness. Call it the biggest WrestleMania we've ever done for a reason. And boy, oh boy, did it live up to the plate in New Orleans, not St. Louis, as I so wrongly said so many times. I'm sorry, okay? I'm a foreigner. I don't know geography very well. Nevertheless, Cross kicked off the WrestleMania evening by winning the SmackDown Women's Championship for a 3rd time, putting on the same level playing field of women's title reigns as none other than, of course, Becky Lynch, her arch rival. This will be the first of 2 matches between Cross and Rousey. They'll face again tomorrow night on SmackDown Live, where Cross will be in her home base, I guess. The way this works is simple. If Raw beats SmackDown, if Rousey beats Cross, Raw gets a women's pick, gets a women's superstar from SmackDown Live, and vice versa. Nikki Cross wins, they get a pick from Raw. That's how it's going to work this whole evening. If you don't want to lose anyone on your roster, you better win. That's for certain. And here comes the new Raw Women's Champion in what was an absolutely sensational match between her and Asuka at WrestleMania. We saw how Ronda Rousey was able to make it work. We saw how Ronda Rousey was able to capitalize on Asuka's fiery nature and use it against her for the most part. The way that Ronda Rousey beat Asuka was a really incredible way of pulling it off. The simple reality was that for as fired up as Asuka was, when she went toe-to-toe with Ronda, when she got up on her feet and squared up with Ronda, she was done for. And she had every right to be done for as well. Ronda Rousey was absolutely on top of her game when it comes to the standing game. And she beat them. She beat them easily. She tapped out Asuka with the armbar, but it was the slug out on their feet that led to the end of Asuka's near 6-month title reign at WrestleMania. Now Ronda in her first of 2 matches this week. First match as champion as well. And of course on home turf, so she's going to have the home support as well. So we got a lot of matches coming up this evening. Every match you'll see this week on Raw, SmackDown, and ECW will be a draft match, making it oh so much more special. And one that I am very much looking forward to. NXT has its own business. Matter of fact, the NXT brand has got another week off going for it. The NXT show coming up later on this week will be from the set of TakeOver New Orleans, but it will be, I believe, just after TakeOver. I believe it was done. I wasn't there to do commentary on it, so or maybe it was before. I don't quite remember. I wasn't there to do commentary on it nonetheless. but I will be doing so later this week. I'm a hard-working man. Got all this drafting to worry about. Got the future of my brand to worry about in terms of its roster, not in terms of its champion. Nothing changed there. Do have the Corin situation, but of course, primarily it's bringing commentary, the voice of this universe, to you all. Ronda Rousey starting things off here by targeting the arm of Nikki Cross, and why not? Trying to get that tap out, of course. Cross will probably enjoy the pain and punishment as well. Big lariat, though, from Cross on Ronda Rousey. No doubt the Cross going to be fired up as well. She wants to prove herself as the champion. Big back elbow there by Rousey. Sorry, to Rousey. Cross has now taken control in this match over the Raw Women's Champion. Or do you get decked by another lariat of her own? Of course, they won the title certainly in different circumstances. Ronda Rousey had an excellent match with Asuka, but Nikki Cross made history in the first ever women's ladder match at WrestleMania. What a contest it was. What a contest it was indeed. Got her by the head now. Pulling her. Oh, up and over and out. For Ronda Rousey there. That ladder match, though, was a great one. I mean, all the women looking to make history. Nikki Cross, the one achieving victory over the 5 other women, but the most important woman in that match for Nikki Cross to be was her arch rival in Becky Lynch. I imagine if Lynch stays on SmackDown Live in this draft, there will definitely be unfinished business. Just to clarify a few things as well regarding the draft, champions are exempt from it. And there were, oh, Rousey squaring up again, just how she did at Mania. Those quick jabs of hers, those jabs and straights, able to bring a great success against Asuka anyway. Back to the point I was trying to make, champions are exempt, and we were allowed to save a few people as well to make sure they wouldn't be drafted as well. So I think, I don't remember the lists off the top of my head, and I don't have them on me right now either, but basically guys like I think Roman Reigns for certain was saved, as there's Piper's Pit from Ronda Rousey. But guys like Roman Reigns was saved on Raw. I know I saved. I know I saved Johnny Gargano. This was just basically we could save who we wanted. As, on top of being who we wanted, we could save guys who maybe we have. We want to see succeed, or we don't want to lose, more importantly, to another brand. And I think that's why Raw was so exempt on keeping Roman Reigns, one of the big winners from WrestleMania, as Ronda Rousey has the armbar now on Nikki Cross. Rousey with the armbar on Cross, looking to kick things off on home turf for a victory in the first night of this draft. But Cross fighting her way out there. Nicely done indeed. Kicking the gut. Nikki Cross crosses the arms for the neck breaker. Oh. Hard impact for Rousey. They looked like she came down quite awkwardly on her neck, but here comes another neck breaker for her. Fisherman's neck breaker from Cross for the first pick. Rousey's foot underneath that bottom rope, so says the referee. Cross, though, in control over Rousey right now. The Raw Women's Champion in trouble. Rousey's only ever suffered one loss in this universe. Could she suffer another one, I wonder? Cross fired up now. Ready to go here. Up to her feet. Nikki Cross firing away. Big lariats. Nice drop kick as well. Rousey in big trouble now. Ronda Rousey going to have to find some way to overcome Nikki Cross. I think the problem for the Raw Women's Champion right now is she has not fought someone like Nikki Cross, someone truly psychotic in many ways, someone who's just kind of all-out offense in a different way as opposed to an Asuka. You can't read what Nikki Cross's game plan is going to be, as there's that neck breaker again. Cross really doing a great job of working over the neck right now. Really softening it up for that Fisherman's neck breaker. Big stomp right in the back there, and again, Cross dragging her towards the ropes. Nikki Cross trying to do anything it takes to get a pick for SmackDown Live here. Because the thing is that whoever wins, basically what they're doing is they're adding yet more competition to their roster. And there are a lot of women, a lot of really talented women who could leave SmackDown Live to go to Raw. Becky Lynch could be one of them. Sasha Banks could be another. Bayley, Paige, Tegan Nox, Miko Satomura. There are so many talented names who could make the jump from SmackDown to Raw if Cross cannot beat Ronda Rousey. Here's Piper's Pit. Cover is made for the draft pick and a kick out at 2 from Cross. Both women have hit each other hard. Both women have utilized a lot of their big moves. Ronda Rousey looking to end it, looking for the armbar, but if you ask me, I think Cross might just be in those ropes. Oh, referee, I think, said it was the case. I guess, you got to agree with what the referee says, whether you want to or not. His decision is final. There's a Fisherman's neck breaker for the first draft pick. Oh, again Rousey kicks out at 2, and Cross can't believe it. And in a way, it wouldn't surprise me if Rousey didn't either. Sheer resilience keeping the Raw Women's Champion in this one right now. Nikki Cross in. Landslide, Samoan driver. Cemented her into the mat. Nikki Cross covers Rousey for the draft pick. Oh, how much closer can you get to 3? How much closer could Rousey have gone to losing Asuka, Kairi Sane, Jordan Grace? The list goes on. Here comes that neck breaker for the 3rd time. She got her with it. Cover made. 1, 2. Oh my God! How do you kick out of 3 of them? Ronda Rousey. Hardly rowdy Ronda Rousey right now. It's just resilience Ronda Rousey. That's all that's kept her in it. I don't know how she's fighting on, but Cross is all over her here. Cross must have exhausted herself as well, trying to put away the Raw Women's Champion. She must have. This has got to come down to whoever can get that next big move. Not even that, maybe. Whoever can get the next roll-up even. Because these 2 women are exhausted. Rousey's taken an awful lot of offense. Cross has delivered a lot, but she's been locked in the armbar twice. And I think of how much is taken out of her, hoisting Ronda around this ring. Gut wrench, power bomb, big counter from Cross. Could have her in a great position here. Back suplex. And now a snap suplex from Cross. Cover. Rousey's foot definitely underneath that bottom rope that time around. Another cover made. There's another 2 and all. Cross has got to be desperate for there to be 3 at the end of one of these counts. Rousey's been out of this now for about 2 minutes. This has been all about the SmackDown Women's Champion. That leg lock was applied by Rousey, finally getting some offense in here. Rousey has her up. Samoan drop from Rousey. Put a lot into that one. Rousey covers Cross, and she does it. The exhaustion of Nikki Cross proved fatal. Cross had tired herself out to no avail, and it resulted in victory for Ronda Rousey. Rousey, your winner this evening. And what a win it was for her as well. But it is time for the first draft pick of the evening. Raw is about to gain a woman on its roster. Who will it be? The first pick of this year's draft, it's Bayley. Bayley will be on Monday Night Raw. As of next week, Ronda Rousey adding Bayley to the Raw Women's Division. A big pick, it has to be said. And Bayley, someone who couldn't find the couldn't find it within her on SmackDown Live to be a total success. May well be able to turn things around here on Raw. But once again, she's got an absolute pool of talent to go through. Rousey gets the first win, though. We'll have to see how things go tomorrow night on SmackDown Live. As for right now, strap yourselves in. We are in for what I hope to be an absolutely incredible contest. It is ECW versus Raw. It is Andrade, Cien, Almas versus Daniel Bryan. This one is going to be good. Two guys with a lot of talent. A rising star in ECW in Andrade, and a staple, a figurehead to Monday Night Raw in Daniel Bryan, one of its founding fathers in this universe. Bryan now has been on Monday Night Raw since day one of this universe, has never left, has never gone anywhere else. A good job indeed Daniel Bryan has done on Monday Night Raw, but will he be able to deny the impact of El Idolo here in his first match on Raw for Andrade? We've seen what Andrade can do on ECW, of course, and in NXT as well. His challenge for the ECW Television Championship was undefeated until becoming, I guess, undefeated, or defeated rather, by the Switchblade Jay White. From then on, Andrade has been a little bit 50-50. He's been struggling to mount the victories that he needs to get his name right back up in the upper echelon of ECW. And the thing is that when a draft happens, you sometimes don't realize that a draft can really help out a guy like Andrade, or someone who's got a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? He's got a lot going for them, basically. I think it's the best way of saying it. But cannot jump into that top level. Because it proved pivotal to Bobby Fish's reign as the WWE Champion for so long. It was the fact that in that year's draft, SmackDown lost a lot. And Bobby Fish was able to capitalize on an opportunity and go ride the wave to the top, and take that WWE title for 390 days. I'm not saying it was the reason why he held the title for all that time, but it was without a doubt one of the reasons why he got himself to that title in the first place. Daniel Bryan has seen many faces come and go on Monday Night Raw, but his has never changed. His has always remained loyal to the red brand. And can he continue that loyalty here this evening with a victory for them? Raw already with one pick this evening. Can the old guard of Monday Night Raw stop the invading force and pick up a necessary win? We will find out in just a moment. Bryan looks ready to go. The crowd without a doubt on his side. The yes chants flowing through the arena here. And we are ready for this one. This is two incredible talents. A future world champion against a two-time world champion. This one's got all the makings of a great one. Here we go. And the crowd instantly go to cheering for Daniel Bryan. And why wouldn't they? Andrade has made it plain that he doesn't want the appreciation of the crowd. And on top of that, Andrade has also made it plain he's an ECW superstar. Andrade there got a back elbow. Didn't get all of it, to be honest. That's why I think he slipped to the ground a little bit. Lifts him right back up here. Counter there, though, from Daniel Bryan. Single underhook suplex. And Andrade takes a heavy hit into the mat. Kick up to his feet, though. Kick in the back. Oh, Hurricanrana. Boot swatted away there, though, from Bryan. Big running elbow. Came at it from an awkward angle, though. Definitely didn't get all of Andrade. Some of the Bryan's going to have to keep his eye out for is Zelina Vega at ringside. I know that we've seen Daniel Bryan will have seen a lot of the managerial interferences come and go in his time on Raw, but one thing is for certain is that Zelina Vega is definitely a different element, shall we say, when it comes to that. She knows how to turn a match around, and Andrade turning Daniel Bryan inside out with that German suplex there onto the padding on the outside. A hard impact for the Grand Slam champion to endure. Oh, but Bryan will reward him. Single underhook suplex on the outside now. Of course, the interesting thing about this match is that Andrade could lose this and be drafted to Raw. It could completely happen. I'm not 100% certain on Bryan. Bryan might have been chosen to stick around for another year on Raw. He might well have been saved by the general manager, and I don't blame him if he did. Look at this now. Samoan driver from Andrade. Doesn't go for the cover, but Bryan comes right up to his feet. Flying forearm. Andrade goes down. Bryan, forearm here. Looking for an opportunity maybe to pounce on Andrade, who's recovering on the outside. It is all up to Bryan if he wants to take this risk, and I don't think he's going to. Andrade getting up to his feet. Back in the ring we go. And that was maybe the wrong time to try and get the S movement on your side. Andrade making him pay. Running knee in the gut. Could we see the running knees in the corner? Not going to happen. Daniel Bryan counters anyway. And sends Andrade for a little bit of a trip. Bryan in now, takes the leg away from Andrade. El Idolo in big trouble. The kicks lighting up the chest. The yes kicks. And one more in the dome. The exclamation point on those kicks. The cover for Bryan for another pick for Raw is denied. Daniel Bryan goes to the turnbuckle. That is a short ways to go if he wants to go for the running knee, but he won't. He'll look for the yes lock here at Andrade. Andrade desperately close to the ropes. Can he make them though? He won't. He taps. Andrade taps. And Daniel Bryan, in fairly quick going, defeats Andrade. Wow. Andrade and Zelina Vega may have underestimated Daniel Bryan there, and they paid for it. Bryan, your winner, and a second draft pick for Monday Night Raw already. And this one going to be coming from ECW. There is a lot we could lose. No doubt about it. The pick is in, and it's about time to reveal who will be going to Monday Night Raw. Oh, there is a lot we could lose. And we have lost a former WWE champion, Kyle O'Reilly. Going to Monday Night Raw. O'Reilly moves to the red brand. That is a tough loss to endure for ECW. One match down for us. One loss. One former WWE champion gained for Raw. That's a bit disappointing. O'Reilly had a great 2018 for the most part on ECW. His summer-long feud with Seth Rollins, the 30-minute Iron Man match. Well, now he's in new hands. The hands of Mr. Dredge, and I wonder what the future holds for Kyle O'Reilly. We'll find out at a later date, but as for right now, Dolph Ziggler returns home. This is where he won 3 world titles, United States titles, and tag team titles. This is where Dolph Ziggler became a Grand Slam champion. And a year after leaving as a result of the failings of Bullet Club, he returns as a WWE Tag Team Champion. It is Tag Team Champions against Tag Team Champions. Ziggler against the Authors of Pain here this evening. Tomorrow night on SmackDown, it will be the American Showoffs again, this time in action against the Wyatt family. And then on ECW, it will be the Wyatt family taking on the Authors of Pain. So the Authors of Pain taking on both sets of Tag Team Champions, as of course everyone is. But the Authors of Pain, the only ones getting a break between their matches. That could definitely help the Raw Tag Team Champions out when it comes to those draft matches. Because the rules for this one, you win, you get a tag team. That is 2 men you lose. That's a lot you could lose. Especially when you think about some other teams as well. Like, think about, I mean, imagine what the reaction on SmackDown Live would be to Tama Tonga and Tangaloa go into Raw because the American Showoffs went, because the American Showoffs lost. Imagine what the originals would do in response. There are a lot of teams that could go. And there are a lot of big names as well in those teams. Think about it. Say Ziggler and Rhodes, say the American Showoffs beat AOP here tonight. Cesaro and Zayn could go. Sullivan and Benjamin could go. Those are two big names. Two big teams. Four big talents to lose right there. I mean, of course, they'd only lose two of them, but you could still, in any set of those, Cesaro and Zayn especially, you're losing two former world champions. Like that. That is a lot to lose if the tag team loses out. And once again, just like Ronda Rousey, what the tag team champions get from their victory are two fresh faces on SmackDown Live, but competition as well. That is the important element to the game. They get competition to worry about. But I think, obviously, both teams are going to welcome it. They're going to cherish it. And if you're AOP, you're going to look to destroy it as well. There are a good chunk of teams who could go from SmackDown Live. I mean, I named the originals there. There could be a varying degree of them. It could be Tangaloa and Tama Tonga. It could be Tama Tonga and Bad Luck Fale. It could be Fale and Tangaloa. There is a lot that could be lost in terms of the originals, but you look at some other teams as well. The Usos, War Machine. Who else is? I was going to say Future Shock, but I don't think that one's going to be happening any much longer. The DCC. And as Ziggler returns home to Monday Night Raw, he has met with one incredible reaction as well. Is the three-time world champion. Drop kick from Ziggler as that's Akam starting the match. If you want to try and tell the Authors of Pain apart, Razor has a back tattoo. Akam doesn't. I also think that Razor doesn't have an arm tattoo. There you go. Half a sleeve. That's what I was looking for on his arm, whereas Akam does. Leg there by Ziggler. Misses with the drop kick. Although Drake Maverick has been teaching his tag team champions as this match begins. I wonder what he's been telling them to do in terms of how to achieve victory over guys who collectively have 4 world titles between them. 3 United States Championship reigns, I believe. If not, definitely 2. These two men are 2 of the most successful tag team in terms of the resume that goes with their name. They are 2 of the most successful guys in the tag team division on any brand. Cesaro and Zayn, I would imagine, is next. That's how important it is in many ways that Cesaro and Zayn actually want Authors of Pain to win here so they can stay on Monday Night Raw. I'm beginning to think the guys you'll spend a lot of time fighting for 1 week alone, you want them to win because you want to see your brand succeed in the draft. Well, up next is going to be a big one as well, a 6-man battle royal. There's 2 draft picks on the line in that one. The winning brand gets a draft pick from the 2 respective brands. So if SmackDown Live wins this upcoming battle royal, they get a draft pick from Raw and a draft pick from ECW. There's a lot to take home. And then in the main event is done a little bit differently. Only big names disappear in the main event, shall we put it that way. You can only lose a big talent in the main event. So former champions, former world champions maybe, guys at the top. Those are the only guys who'll go. So we're not going to get to the main event and then see, I don't know, Aiden English, say for example. Aiden English, he's not going to be going in the main event draft pick. It's going to be a guy like, what would it be, for example, a Daniel Bryan, a Hiroki Goto at the very minimum. You're going to be losing a guy who you typically see in about the 4th, 5th match on these shows. You know, you could see guys who lost out of WrestleMania as well. Brock Lesnar, Marty Scurll. Those 2 guys could go as well. I'm trying to think of some other guys. You know, we could lose like Kenny Omega, Shibata. You can say Kyle O'Reilly, but he's already gone. Tetsuya Naito. There's a lot. That main event is crucial when it comes pretty much to selling pay-per-views. Because if we keep a big name, or if we gain a big name, That's another big face to put on the poster. That's another good shift in pay-per-view sales. But at the same time as well, if those big names do disappear, you could see guys like Andrade, like Apollo Crews even, to name ECW examples, like Kota Ibushi as well. Guys who are there on the rosters, who do get their opportunities, but when all the big names disappear and you kind of need to look down at your depth, essentially, to help you out, you could see guys like those being given huge chances. Huge chances. You could see them going after the main titles. For example, say Marty Scurll leaves. Say CM Punk leaves Monday Night Raw this week. You could see a guy like Lars Sullivan, Shelton Benjamin, trying to think of a few others off the top of my head right now, maybe even Christian getting a chance at the big leagues. Here goes Cody Rhodes right now, though, on Razor, I believe that one is. Din's fire to Razor. But Cody doesn't go for the cover. He's put a lot of people away with that move, but he's not going to be putting away Razor right now. Tag made. In comes Akam here. Oh, good God. Choke toss from one half of the World Tag Team Champions. Of course, both these teams defended their tag team titles last week in the go-home shows for WrestleMania. The Authors of Pain defending a triple threat tag match. Meanwhile, the American Showoffs beating Sheamus and Pete Dunne to hang on to it. That could be another big group that SmackDown could lose. Sheamus, Dunne, Fish. God, I hope that doesn't happen with ECW. How am I gonna put up with Corin, Bobby Fish, and Paul Heyman? Oh. Cody Rhodes, meanwhile, might be looking to gain a tag team for SmackDown Live. Crossroads, but Drake Maverick intervening. The manager of the Authors of Pain getting himself up on the apron, and the count can be made, but I don't know why Cody stopped. Ziggler could have taken care of Razor there. And instead, the tag is made. Now Razor is in, and a winning opportunity for the American Showoffs is cast to one side. A lot of frequent tags from AOP in this one, as opposed to the one, I think, that has been made from the Showoffs. The chair thrown out of the ring quickly. Cody couldn't make the tag into Ziggler there. Razor overpowering him, throwing now Rhodes into the turnbuckle. Ziggler trying to intervene, but to no avail. The Authors of Pain setting up the last chapter. AOP covers Rhodes, but Ziggler makes the save. Ziggler makes the save there, but he's paying for it as he goes over the top rope. Rhodes now in trouble. Russian leg sweep from Akam. Powers Rhodes' head into the mat, and Raw is 3-up. 3-0 for Monday Night Raw this evening. Another draft pick for the Red Brand. The tag team champions on Monday Night Raw pull it off, and a tag team will be making its way over to Monday Night Raw, and we are about to find out who it is. The pick is in. Who will go from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw? Which team is going? Oh, God damn. That is huge. Get ready for war. War Machine are going to Monday Night Raw. Oh, yes. SmackDown Live losing one of their biggest tag teams. Monday Night Raw all of a sudden has gained one of its new biggest tag teams. War Machine on Monday Night Raw. That's going to be a big one. Moving on. Time for a battle royal now. Time for the 6-man battle royal. 2 draft picks on the line. Raw already have 3. They could have 5 in an instant. Christian heading towards the ring right now, and you can hear the reaction Captain Charisma is getting as he heads towards the ring. We don't know how much is left of Christian's career, but we know that he has found one last second breath, one last shift into the top gear. The runner-up at King of the Ring, and the support of the crowds behind him everywhere we go. Will that support lead him towards victory here tonight over these 5 other men? Because the thing is that Raw has to effectively win. You know, for Raw to win, a Raw guy's got to be eliminated. So even though it's a 6-man battle royal, it is in many ways every man for himself. Because I think there's an element to all of these guys. They're all wrestlers. They all want to be the one that gets the headline. They all want to be the one that gets the talking point. They all want to be the one to do their brand proud. It wouldn't surprise me if in the 3 battle royals we got coming your way this week, if we see someone on the same brand as another guy just hoofing him over the top rope. Because yes, it might be about helping out your brand, but at the same time, you want to win. Because you know, a win in this week, a very important win in this week, could lead to you finding something for yourself in the future on this brand. And I tell you, one guy who would love that is Kofi Kingston. Former Intercontinental Champion now to be added to his name. Can he pick up 2 draft picks for SmackDown Live here this evening? Those 2 draft picks could be anything and anyone. They could be another tag team. They could be... Oh, no, they couldn't. My bad. Sorry, it's one for neither brand. That completely slipped my mind. But it could be. You never know. I mean, if say, Jimmy Uso gets called, I don't think Jey Uso's going to want to stay on his own brand. I don't think the brothers would want to go it alone, shall we say. Here we go, though. Cedric Alexander heading towards the ring, representing ECW. He will be joined alongside the most decorated man in terms of champions won in the history of this universe in Austin Aries. I think. Or is Aries tomorrow? No, Aries is tonight. We're okay. Big names for Raw as well. Christian and Randy Orton. SmackDown Live going with Kofi Kingston and Matt Riddle. SmackDown Live maybe with a little bit of a... You know, with those guys who could benefit from a lot of big names leaving. I mean, you think about it. If you're Kofi Kingston and Matt Riddle, you might want to see the likes of AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens maybe disappear, shall we say, from the big stage, from SmackDown Live, so that you can slot yourself right in there. So far, Monday Night Raw is going to start to find an overcrowding issue this upcoming week with the way things have gone for them so far. Already, 4 new talents added to the Red brand. 2 from the tag, Kyle O'Reilly and Bayley. We'll see who else will be added as Matt Riddle makes his Monday Night Raw debut alongside Cedric Alexander. Kofi Kingston returns to the brand that he was traded from a few months ago, I believe. Just when the new general managers came into town, I believe it was when Kofi made the swap from Raw to SmackDown. Found much more success on SmackDown, in all honesty. An Intercontinental title reign to his name. And he's got to be happy about that one. And it wouldn't surprise me, honestly, with what we know, with how resilient we know Kofi to be, if there could be more success on his way in the future. Riddle ready to go here. Of course, he had to watch on at WrestleMania as his mentor, Shawn Michaels, fought his very last match in this universe. What a match it was. Some of you believed it to be the match of the night. A sleeper hit, as it would be regarded as in box office terms. But the career of Shawn Michaels is over. His future will be spent mentoring Matt Riddle. Bobby Fish walked out with the win on that evening. Randy Orton, on the other hand, didn't see WrestleMania. I imagine, well, he wasn't there, and I imagine he didn't watch it either, in all honesty. Orton, though, would love to get himself back into that scene. Would love to find himself back in the WrestleMania picture, back in that huge grand scale on Monday Night Raw. Like I said, you know, you could start that all very simply, basically, by just winning this Battle Royal. Orton up there with Austin Aries as an incredibly decorated talent in terms of this universe. Orton has, is it 2 former tag team title reigns under his belt at the minimum? Might even be 3. It's a lot of success for Orton. He's got the United States title reign, I believe. If not, definitely an Intercontinental title reign. World title reign. Randy Orton, if memory serves me correct, is a Grand Slam champion in this universe. So he too, Triple Crown at the very, very least. So he too has a lot of success going for him. But it has been a very long time since Orton held the belt as well. Talking about 3 years now, I think, since Randy Orton. 3 years plus since Orton last held some championship gold. But the last strap he held was WWE Tag Team title with Batista. Actually, they would have won it about 3 years ago at WrestleMania. That was the last gold that Randy Orton held, and he would like some more around his waist soon enough indeed. We'll all start here tonight with a win in this Battle Royal. This isn't a relaxing week for anyone. This is a very important week for the general managers especially. So here we go. We're about to get going. We are awaiting the last man out here. As I said, the most decorated man in the history of this universe. 3 world titles to his name. That's a lie. 4 world titles to his name. Former 2-time Intercontinental Champion. 2-time Cruiserweight Champion. ECW Tag Team Champion. Austin Aries. The name says it all. The name stands alongside success when it comes to Austin Aries. One of not only the most successful men this universe has ever seen, but one of the greatest as well. The former Royal Rumble winner. There is only one thing really that Aries hasn't done, but I imagine he would like to add to his accolade one day. Money in the Bank winner. Don't tell me he wouldn't like that. I know he would. Aries though, last man out in this one, and we await this Battle Royal to get underway. 6 men, 2 draft picks on the line, and the crowd is on the side of Christian. Well, that's not really much of a surprise. Oh man, Christian Mania running wild. The night after, the week after WrestleMania. That put a smile on my face, I have to be honest. So yeah, the rules are simple. Winning brand, 2 draft picks, 1 from either brand. So if Kofi Kingston's the last man standing in this one, that's a draft pick from Raw, and that's a pick from ECW as well. As I said earlier on this evening, one of these guys in this Battle Royal could go. I think it happened last year where someone... Oh, well, it's not going to be Cedric. He's going to be getting the win. Cedric Alexander eliminated by Randy Orton. But back to my point at hand. I think it was last year where we did see examples of a guy being in the Battle Royal and then, because he didn't win it and another brand won it, him getting drafted. The brand that won it, I think it was Cody Rhodes who it happened to. It was Rhodes who was in the Battle Royal, SmackDown Live won it, and Rhodes ended up on SmackDown Live. Christian trying to eliminate Kofi Kingston here as Cedric Alexander mopes to the back. Aries now, the only one flying the flag of ECW high. And he sends Randy Orton into the turnbuckle. Riddle trying to get rid of Christian here. Man, SmackDown trying to get rid of Christian here. SmackDown looking to get hated on Monday Night Raw. Oh, and they've done it! Christian's gone. And the reaction tells the story. Riddle and Kofi suddenly public enemy number 1. Christian eliminated. SmackDown Live with a big chance of victory now, but they're fighting one another as well. Kofi going over the top rope here. Oh, but he's able to hang on in there. Look at the strength of Riddle though. Deadlift, gut wrench, suplex. He's hanging on. He's going to look for multiple of them. Aries in trouble. Nope, slugs his way back. Claps the ears there. That'll disorientate the Viper. Meanwhile, Riddle still with incredible strength. If I was SmackDown Live, if I was Kofi and Riddle, I'd look at one another and be like, we should go after those two. Because that is 2 draft picks guaranteed. Look at this. Riddle just watching on as Orton struggles and fails to eliminate Aries. Great work by Aries there, just sinking himself in, basically refusing to let go of the top rope there. Kofi now sending Aries into the turnbuckle, counter by Aries. Dragon screw, meanwhile, nice suplex from Matt Riddle. So far we've lost Cedric Alexander and Christian in this matchup. So, suplex from Kofi to Riddle as Aries and Orton continue their battle. Might very well be a battle for supremacy between the two former world champions. Trying to kick him out. Oh, he is close, but Orton is going to hang on in there. Oh, close indeed. Now it's Kofi's turn to be in trouble. Kofi could be dumped out here. Riddle. Oh, again. Close for Kofi. Riddle got him teetering, but oh no. Kofi okay. And now the Raw crowd turning to cheering for Randy Orton. Took them a little while, but why not? You've got to cheer for your homeboys, essentially. Brain buster from Aries. And that could have put an end to Raw's hunt for draft picks here to continue on this successful night. 3-0 this evening as Raw competes in every match here tonight. Oh, low blow from Aries onto Riddle. Now SmackDown Live has split themselves apart. Now SmackDown Live is targeting other guys, but it doesn't seem to be going well for them in all honesty. Big clothesline in the corner there by Aries. Drop kick to Riddle as well. Kofi and Orton locking horns once more. Aries sending Riddle to the ropes here. And Riddle is gone. Aries gets him out. Trouble in Paradise attempt from Kofi. Countered into an Olympic slam. Aries teeters over the top rope. And ECW's out of here. Oh, we're losing another guy. Great. Well, time to lose another one. Is this our punishment for winning the Royal Rumble, a main event in WrestleMania? Is this our punishment for winning the show of the year by like a third of the other votes? Kofi might be looking to make a success for SmackDown. Trouble in Paradise. Has Kofi done it? Throw him over the top rope, Kofi. Orton denies him. Big forearm from Orton there, and he's hanging on in it as well. Orton trying to win it for Monday Night Raw right now, as if they need more draft picks. Up and over for Kofi there. Can he throw Orton out? He's dangerously close to going over that top rope. He's right there. Kofi lines it up. Oh no! Orton pulls the top rope down. Kofi hits the mat, and Raw win another one. 4-0 for Monday Night Raw this evening. And 2 more draft picks. That's 6. 6 men and women who have gone from other brands to Monday Night Raw. 2 huge picks and a monumental win for Randy Orton. But who will be the 2 to make the jump? Could be a big loss for both brands. The picks are in. As Orton celebrates his win, he'll turn his attention to what his work in this Battle Royal did. The first pick will come from ECW. We've already lost Kyle O'Reilly. Well, you can't win them all. I'm okay with that one. Jack Gallagher to Monday Night Raw. Unlucky. Unlucky. Sometimes you can't win them all. The next one, though, from SmackDown Live. And it is a swap from a year ago. A year ago, Hardy was drafted from Raw to SmackDown Live. Now, SmackDown Live back to Raw. Monday Night Raw not picking up 2 huge names, quote unquote, like they did earlier on this evening, but I would argue a Jeff Hardy is a solid pick. I mean, you know, they kind of already got a guy like a Cassius Ohno, a guy who's going to give you a great match every week. I'd be down for that. they just have to put up with Jack Gallagher as well. Unlucky. Anyway, it is time for our main event of the evening. Triple threat that was supposed to be between the 3 secondary champions of each respective brand. The Intercontinental Champion coming up first in Finn Bálor. Of course, the new United States Champion in the Velveteen Dream. And the former ECW Television Champion in Jay White. I explained this at the top of the show. I'll explain it again. We can't have Corin because A, Corin isn't contracted to ECW, and B, tell me why Corin would try to win for ECW. Tell me why Corin would try to win a pick for ECW. If he was in that ring, it wouldn't surprise me if he threw Trevor Lee into the ring and told him to lay down. That sounds like something that Corin would do. Just to screw us over. Jay White, though, as I said, if he makes it through this week, oh, is there trouble coming the way of the Switchblades. White was, of course, the one who wanted to take on Corin. He was willing to take whatever happened. He was willing to take the blame. And the blame he shall now take. Because it is his fault the Clockwork Project now have gold on ECW. It is his fault that I, at some point, I'm going to have to do contract negotiations with Corin. Just to preserve that ECW Television Championship. It is because of Jay White that at some point I'm going to have to make Corin an ECW superstar. And that is, of course, why Corin's not eligible for the draft this evening. Callahan and Trevor Lee are because they're ECW superstars. Corin isn't. He's exempt anyway because, of course, he's a champion. But also you can add to that list because he's not an ECW superstar. Which is a good and a bad. But then again, I care far more about my ECW Television Championship than I do about Corin. So, all's good. But here comes the man who did indeed let ECW down. I don't mean to rail on Jay White. I don't mean to rag on about the fact that he didn't do the job that I wanted him to at WrestleMania. If White, like I said, if White makes it through this week, then he is in trouble, yes. But I would be lying if I didn't think that the future shines bright on ECW for Jay White. In the same way that it shines bright for Andrade. And even a guy like Johnny Gargano. Don't know why I worded it like that. Gargano is an incredible talent. But I think there is a strong future. I know Seth Rollins, of course, is still the ECW champion, and he eclipses 600 days already. But there will come a time when Rollins loses his belt and a new generation of ECW superstars will have to come into the fray. And I honestly believe Jay White, Johnny Gargano, Andrade, Cien, Almas, Aleister Black. They could be the new Big Four of ECW. You know, we talk about Big Four sometimes, but Monday Night Raw, the Big Four heading into WrestleMania was Reigns, Taker, Skrull, Tanahashi. Our next Big Four in ECW when Rollins loses that title could be White, Gargano, Black, and Almas. But it could also be another big name as well. There could be a new element added if Jay White can pick up a huge win here tonight. Maybe over Monday Night Raw, get a bit of revenge on them. Imagine the villain coming to ECW. That could happen here if Jay White pins this man. The new United States champion defeated Bobby Roode in an excellent contest last week to win that title. But the dream, the robe has left him, and the title has been gained. And I gotta be honest, that looks really good around the waist of the Dream. The Velveteen Dream heads towards the ring. It was just about 2 months ago he made his debut on the main roster after 2 failed shots at the NXT title and his first crack at a main roster belt. The United States title proves to be a success. I'm trying to think, Raw's already won everything they can here tonight. Could they clean sweep the evening? I don't think that's ever been done in draft history in this universe. I don't think we've ever had a roster clean sweep. Nevertheless, if they were to do it, who is there to gain from SmackDown Live? Brock Lesnar, Kevin Owens maybe, Samoa Joe. I'm trying to think of the big names right now. Shinsuke Nakamura. Those could all be gained, and meanwhile, SmackDown, you know, if they were to beat Raw, could gain Marty Scurll, Triple H, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and from ECW, of course, anyone could gain Kenny Omega, Shibata. So I'm trying to think of more off the top of my head right now. They could even gain some of those guys who I was going on about, you know, Naito as well. Some of those future talents of ECW, some of that next generation. A guy like, maybe even Jay White could go. Johnny Gargano, Andrade, Cien, Almas. Trying to think of some more off the top of my head. Apollo Crews, maybe. Austin Aries. We got a lot to lose, but so too does every other roster. Dream will look as the guy flying the fashionable flag, of course, of Monday Night Raw. He will look to pick up a win here tonight, clean sweep it for Monday Night Raw, and take home another draft pick for them. With people here cheering on Finn Bálor as he comes home. A, that's despicable. And B, I mean, he's a SmackDown talent. Finn Bálor, though, returns home to Monday Night Raw, returns home, and you know, this is where he made a name for himself. 2 world titles to his name on this roster since going to SmackDown Live, of course, last year. Was it last year? No, it was before that, wasn't it? It was before last year. It was 2 years ago Bálor went. In that time, he's had 3 Intercontinental titles. Now, of course, a member of the Originals. The only man of the Originals holding gold right now. Nikki Cross, of course, making sure that Becky Lynch wouldn't have any gold to talk about. Big shining wizard there to the Dream. And, of course, Tama Tonga and Tanga Loa having lost their tag team titles, and Tama Tonga out with an injury. And AJ Styles pretty much out of SmackDown Live altogether right now as a result of his attacks on the SmackDown General Manager Christian James. I don't know what, a week has passed. I went to see Christian James. I don't know when he'll be back on SmackDown Live, but he told me he is recovering. We didn't go more into depth on it. We also spent most of our time talking about WrestleMania. But I have seen Christian James. I've got to be honest, he says he's recovering. I don't think he's looking the best. If I'm being completely honest, he looks very hurt. That being said, he still has his seat as the SmackDown General Manager, so he's still got that going for him, and by no means is the General Manager board and either of the executives of this company looking to remove him from his position, which is good. Christian James done a fine job in these last 7 months as SmackDown General Manager, even if he's had to put up with the Originals for pretty much all of it. He now takes solace in the fact, though, that he's got a WWE Champion who SmackDown Live can be absolutely proud of in Kazuchika Okada, who we'll see later on this week. Meanwhile, Finn Bálor superplex to the Dream. Elbow drop followed up there by the Switchblade, and he sets his sights on Finn Bálor there, taking the leg away from him. Look at this now. Jay White locking in. Rings a satin on Finn Bálor. Stitched in. Bálor kicking, trying to get his way to the ropes, but no need as he'll fight out of his own accord as well. Elbows helping Finn Bálor escape that hold. Double axe handle there from the Dream. Jay White counters him. Oh, Dream counters back. Misses with the clothesline. Misses again. Great counters from the Switchblade. Almost as if he was forcing Velveteen Dream to run rings around him. Kiwi Crusher for a pick from Raw. Jay White just not getting what he needed there, but he might be about to strike big on the Velveteen Dream. Might be about to strike the Blade Runner. Denied by Finn. And Bálor sends him into the turnbuckle now. Dream will capitalize. No, he won't. Dream sends him to the turnbuckle. Back elbow to Jay White. White involved in everything right now. Death Valley drive out of the Switchblade. And as the champions stare each other down, bloody hell to the Velveteen Dream. Dream planted with it. Will SmackDown win a pick from Raw? There's 2. Close but no cigar. The Dream gets the shoulder up just in time. A flurry of big moves right then and there. Glorious DDT. And Dream Still not done enough. Belly to belly now, though. Dream is controlling this match and then some. And he has every reason to want to do that. To win a draft pick for a clean sweep. To be a part of a historic night for Monday Night Raw. Finn Bálor going to the top rope. Looking to fly. Looking to strike with the coup de grace. Looking to win big. For Monday, for SmackDown Live even. Coup de grace. Where did he hit him? Oh! In the chest, but it definitely didn't look like... Definitely didn't look as impactful as it usually is. Jay White up to his feet as well and breaks it up before a count can even be made. Bloody Sunday! Bloody Sunday to the Switchblade. The Velveteen Dream is down. The cover is on Jay White, and Jay White drops the ball again. Another pick from ECW goes awry. A clean sweep is evaded for Monday Night Raw. SmackDown Live gets a win. Bálor wins for SmackDown. The originals helping SmackDown out. And they're going to get a big name from ECW. They are going to get a big name. Plenty who could go. And I have to wonder who will it be? Who could make the leap? We're about to find out. The pick is in. SmackDown Live about to close the evening out with a big name. Oh! Well, drop the ball he did, but he doesn't have to worry about it any longer. The Switchblade is on SmackDown. Jay White goes to SmackDown Live to close out the evening. And there you have it, SmackDown Live. It might be time to breathe with the Switchblade. Night one is over. Huge success for Raw. Big gains for SmackDown Live. ECW with a duck egg. We'll see you tomorrow for SmackDown Live. See if anything changes as well.